Hi, um, today I'm going to make a video to show you uh, how to do the SQL statement tracing and the performance in Oracle. It's a small knowledge sharing session I want to try. And what I'm going to do now, first I will quickly show you two slides about why we need that and how to do that as an overview. And then I will quickly go to a step-by-step example to show you exactly how it can be done. Okay, so first of all, who will need this skill? It's obviously an important skill for developer. No need to explain. The developer need to know where are the best SQL statement and also improve the skill to write a better SQL statement. But also for the tester, if you're testing the signature prime system, it helps you to quickly find where are the best SQL statement. It's a skill for you. And also if you have a different database and different environment to test, and if you know where are the best SQL statement, you can actually see the performance among the different database or environment. And then for implementer, some implementer may think that, okay, SQL statement is too difficult for me. But actually, if you are working in project, working on site, it will help you a lot if you know how to quickly identify if there is a best SQL statement. Because first of all, you're working on site, your timing is very tight. And you want to know if there is a performance issue, you want to know where is the best SQL statement. And also, when you're running project, you may have a different size of database. And you want to know that whether this performance bad is because of the data size or it's because the SQL statement is really bad. So it doesn't matter how big or how small is the data. And when you're facing client, it's also important that you can clarify where is the performance issue, because performance issue could be related to the hardware, to the Windows, to the virtual or physical environment, or relate to the Oracle editions, how you install, and also relate to our software. So if you can quickly identify there is a best SQL statement, or you can quickly clarify that there's no best SQL statement, it will help you to go to the right direction when you try to even just report the bad performance issue. Okay, and for support people, if you have a performance case, of course you want to know where is the best SQL statement and how it caused the problem and how Oracle caused this problem. Okay, so it looks like many people may be interested in this, and hopefully you can get something out of this video. And then how to do it? It's actually mainly 2 or 3 steps. The first step is to generate or create the trace file. It's like a log file. Okay? It's called trace file in Oracle, and I will show you step by step how to do that. Basically, you turn on the trace and go through the base screen and turn off the trace. So you will generate the trace file for you. And then the second step is to understand the trace file you just generate. And to do that, you need to first convert it into a text file, which is readable. And then within the text file, you can identify where is my best SQL statement and how all the SQL statement running by Oracle, and understand that the Oracle is brand plan. That is something you can know that how exactly Oracle run the SQL statement. And then if you want and if you can also tune the SQL statement, of course. You can try to write a better SQL statement and see how it works. But today I will mainly focus on step 1 and 2 because this video is not about teaching you how to write a better SQL. It is to help you quickly find the problem. Okay, so now I will start my step-by-step example. Okay, first of all, I need a working directory. So I already have this folder. Okay, it doesn't matter where is the working directory, you can put it anywhere. So the point is to have a working directory so you can put the file or you can put everything you're working on here. Okay, then I will, okay, first thing I will clean up the connections. And I can do that by restart the Oracle service. Okay, if I go to my Oracle instance, I can restart the Oracle service. Yeah, the reason to do that is to easily disconnect all the database connection and make sure there's no previous connection there, which may confuse your tracing process. And sometimes you may not be able to do this because if you're on site, people are still using, your customer is still using, then you cannot just simply restart. So it depends on the environment you are running the trace. And then to be more sure, I also want to restart my application pool in the IIS. Okay, so I come here, stop the application pool, and wait for some second, and start it again. Okay, actually you can also reboot the Windows if you want. Yeah, that would be extremely clean environment for you to start. Okay, and now I'm in my working directory. I'm going to move to this working directory first. Okay, so I go to this place. Okay, so from now on, I will use the SQL Plus to turn on the trace, turn off the trace, and look for the trace file. All this can be done by SQL Plus. So first, I need to log in as system account, the Oracle system account, and with the TMS name. Okay, so now I want to make a SQL statement to find where what are the active or inactive database connection right now for Synergy Plan. So how do I do that? I need to select the SID and the serious number from a view called v$sessions. Okay, and you need to make a constraint. The username is the database username, which in my case is called Synergy Plan. Okay, so now there's no row, means no connections. That's very obvious because I just restart. Okay, and then now I will log in Synergy Plan, and then we can see what happened to the database connection. All right, so now I'm in the login screen. I input the login information, the famous NGR account. Okay, in my example today, I'm not going to trace the first screen, the first dashboard screen. If you want to do that, you still can do that, but you need to enable the trace and come back to refresh this screen. So now I just log in Synergy Plan. So let's go to the same place. And if we run the same SQL statement, where username equals Synergy Plan. Okay, now you see that there are two database sessions there, and under the name username Synergy Plan. And actually, as normal people, if you are not expert of Oracle and the developer, you won't know which session is the session you want to trace. So the best way is to trace both of them. Okay, so that makes sure you won't mix any bad SQL statement. So what I'm going to do is to enable the trace for these two database sessions. Okay, so to do that, I need to execute a function. This function is in the dbns underscore monitor package. Okay, it's a very good package. It provides a lot of tools, a lot of function for you to do the performance monitoring. So today, I'm going to use the session trace enable function, session underscore trace underscore enable. And this function has 4 parameters. Okay, the first one is the session ID, which is showing as SID above, so it's 13. Okay, the second one is called serious underscore NUN, serious number. Okay, this one is the second number, 23. Okay, the next one is called binding, BINDS. Normally you just say binds is true. And last one is I want to wait for the execution finish. That is waits, also true. And note that the way you set the value is by specify a equal and greater than sign. Okay, so this is the function I call. So right now it just enable the session trace for the session SID 13 and the serial number 23. Yeah, you don't need to understand what it is. This is just to tell you how to do it. Okay, I will also do the same for the second connection. That's number 14 SID and the series number 27. Great. So now the trace is enabled. What does that mean? That means I can start to browse to my best SQL screen. Okay, but actually in my demo system, I don't really have a really best demo screen. So I will just go to some screen and then show you the result. And if you really have some bad screen based on some bad database, then you can use the same technique. Okay, so I just go through normally how I do in the demo. I go through the facility hierarchy and find my demo equipment, the demo tag. Okay, and click on the standard RBI profile. So as I say, I don't really know where is the worst SQL page. I don't have one. So I just go through some screen and later on we can see how to find the performance results. Okay, so this is one screen I go and then I jump to the RBI modules. So here first you retrieve the RBI dashboard. That doesn't matter. And after that, I go to the bespoke RBI. So actually, I wanted to re-go through the hierarchy, focus on the equipment, and then retrieving the bespoke RBI screen, because that may mean something. Okay, some different SQL is running behind. Okay, so that is all the screen I want to run. In your case, you need to, of course, go to the really bad screen, which caused the performance issue. Okay, so that's not the point for my demo. I just want to show you how to do it. So now I have go through the screen. So the next thing is actually to disable the trace. Okay, so I go to disable. For disable, you don't need the last two parameters. You only need the SID and the series number. So I will, instead of enable, I will just disable. Okay, so take a look. Session trace disable with the session ID and the series number. Okay, and then do the same for the second sessions, 14 and 27. Great. Okay, so what I have done, let's take a look. Restart Oracle, restart IIS, identify the Synergy Plan database connections, turn on the trace, go through the bad performance screen, and then turn off the trace. Okay, so that's step one. So now we go to the step two. I have some trace file, so I need to know where it is. Okay, to find the trace file, there is another SQL to select a value from a view called $diagnostic info. Okay, and you can say the name is D4 trace file. Okay, there are also a lot of other parameters in the VDialog info, which you can Google it, you'll find it. Okay, so this basically tell me where is my trace file, so I don't need to guess. Okay, so I just copy this folder and then open the browser and go to this need to be run on the database server. Okay, so go to this folder. So this is my trace file, all the trace files here. Okay, which one is it? That's a good question. So basically you are looking for the .trc file. Okay, and there could be many of them. So normally you would take based on the time, within the time you are doing the best screen, remember? And also you can take all of them But normally for me, I would take the biggest one because this is accumulating all the SQLs. So I will take this, for example, to show you how it works. So I copy the trace file to my local. Okay, again, I copy this and to my working folder. Okay, so now I get the trace file. If you open the trace file right now, you won't understand. It's a binary thing. So what we need to do now, we need to translate it. So the way to translate is to run a tool called tkprof, right? Remember this? And then specify the input trace file se_ora7928.trc. Okay, so that's the name here, right? And then the next parameter is the output file. Okay, I will use the same file name, but with .txt. It's a text file. And then you can specify many parameters, how you want to translate. But normally, as a minimum, we need to have the explain. Okay, use which database to explain. Use my synergy plan database, password 0 cool. This is to say that when you translate, use this database data and structure and schema to do the explain. Okay, and then the result you can sort. Okay, normally I will sort by the execution CPU time, and whatever you sort is in the descending order, right? So the worst case is on the top. Okay, so I just run this. Okay, as you can see now it generates a test file. Okay, you may need to wait a few seconds because if your trace file is big, then this test file is also big. Okay, so now I have all the trace file. I will show you what is the trace file. Okay, so now I open this already translated trace file. Okay, so the structure of this is it will list down one by one the SQL statement, starting with the header. So this is the header for the whole file. And then it will say, okay, this is one SQL, it has ID, right? And here is the SQL statement, okay? And here is the running result. You can see that for this SQL statement, it runs, it fast very, very quick. And its execution time is 0.5 seconds. And the fetch data is 1,414 records. Okay, so it tells you how fast it do the phasing, how fast it do the execution, and how many data are fetched. Okay, and then it also there are some other information like the hit rate or miss rate. For this, you need to understand the Oracle tuning performance terminology. But basically, after that, it also gives you a plan. So this is called the execution plan. Okay, this is very important. If you understand what is the execution plan, you can actually see whether this SQL is running in a good way, in a good algorithm. Okay, so to say. So that is the execution plan. And then you can see that, okay, that is one SQL. Then it was a long start line, and then it comes the second SQL statement. Okay, so basically the structure is like this. The SQL statement one by one with the execution result, with the how it was executed. And then at the end of this file, you will get a summary. Okay, there are two summary overall total for all non-recursive statement, and also another one is overall totals for all recursive statement. So this is summary for all the SQL statement running during this tracing period. Okay, if you are interested in this, you can look at more Oracle knowledge book or Google some information. But for now, I just want to tell you that the worst SQL statement is the first one. Remember, because I sort by the when I translate the trace file, I actually sort by the execution CPU time. Okay, you can sort by other things. There are different parameters. For example, if you say TKPROF, yeah, there are so many parameters. Even just for sorting, sorting options, these are the options. Yeah, you can sort by the data buffer, you can sort by the CPU time, you can sort by the fetching time, or whatever you want. Okay, so in my example, I just say, okay, this 0.5 second things is my worst SQL statement, and that's it. Okay, that's the way you find the worst SQL. Maybe the top one, maybe the top two, or top three. So now I'm going to introduce you another small tools which may help you also in this process. When you have a SQL statement, you can use this EXPLN. It's a third-party Oracle small tool to help you to understand the execution plan. Okay, to use that, it's very simple. In the INI file, you need to set up your server name, which is the TMS name, the database user, okay, and the database password. Okay, so once you have that, you can run the ESPLN ESE. Then you come to this screen. So I'm going to show you how to use this. Okay, for example, I have this SQL statement here, which is not really bad because if you look at its algorithm is using the table access on the T property form, and it is using the index. So it's a unique index. So the performance is on the primary index. It's quite good actually, because in my demo I don't have a base SQL, right? But just to show you how to use that, I will copy this SQL statement and paste here and run the explain. So now you see how Oracle runs it in a more clear way. Okay, it's doing the table access on the T property form table, and only one step using the unique scan on the primary key property form. Okay, primary key, what is that? If you don't know, then you cannot do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will just try to change a little bit just to show you how it works. Okay, the good thing for this explain tool is it can actually take parameters. As you can see there, B1 and B2, it will still explain. You didn't need to replace with the real value. And that's excellent, right? So what I'm going to do, this SQL is actually selecting, a very simple SQL is selecting from T property form, and with the ASO ID equals to this function. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I will just simply remove the where. Okay. So as you can imagine, this is very basic SQL. I select everything from T property form. So if I come here and explain it, wow. Then you see full table access, cost 113. Okay. So many times more than what it should be. So that's the way you can actually find the worst SQL, and you can try to rewrite it and see whether it becomes better or worse. Okay. So another thing, normally in the trace file, what you are really interested in is some keyword. For example, full scan. Okay, if you know how the schema, how the syntax is the SQL plan, Oracle SQL plan, the full scan is normally the problem is. But if it's a fast full scan, means that your data is not so big, so it can still do the full scan in a relative very fast way. So fast full scan is okay, but when your data become huge, then it may not be okay. Okay, so normally for me, I will just quickly search all the full scan, make sure it's either a fast full scan or it's a SQL I can tune to better one. Okay, so as you can see, all of them are indexed, all of them are fast full scan. Of course, because the first one is already the worst. But in the real case, it's better you can scan full table scan, full scan. Everything with the full is not so good. Okay, but for my case, you can see that among all the SQLs, they are all fast full scan. Okay, so no problem at all. So let's take a look. Finally, the second step is to generate a text file using the tkprof command, as I'm showing here. Okay, and then identify the best SQL statement in the text file, understand the explain the Oracle, how does Oracle run it. Okay, and then to be more advanced, you can check the index, you can test with different data size, and you can test with this special Oracle syntax called the rule-based executions. Okay, what is that? I will show you. If I run this explain again, and then get my SQL statement from the trace file. Okay, so I copy this SQL statement and paste it here. Explain. Okay, the rule things is, let's try to copy to the test pad. Okay, the rule things is that you can specify a special syntax here to say that I want to run by rules. What does it mean run by rules? If you run by the rule, that means your SQL statement will be always running by the will be always facing and running by the algorithm instead of depending on the data size. Yeah, because Oracle is so smart, so sometimes it will depend on the data size and run it differently. And sometimes it's not good actually. So now you see that with the rule, you only need the cost of 1. Okay, so this is what does it mean? It means it's independent of your data size. So if you have a SQL statement with a rule syntax here and it runs so good, that means it should be good for the different data size. Okay, there are a lot of knowledge about the SQL tuning and Oracle. You can find in Google, you can find in the Oracle website. So thanks for your watching of this video. Bye bye.